This is Midnight. Midnight likes to read manga in his spare time. He loves Berserk so much. Midnight also likes doing exercise, even though he sucks at it. But what Midnight loves the most are his video games. Midnight knows very well that he lives on an era where gaming publishers and developers alike use the gaming platform to push an agenda on their political beliefs. And even though Midnight knows that that is a very bad thing to do, Midnight still enjoys the game for what it is, even though it's the wokest game of them all. Be like Midnight. If you enjoy the game, you win. As simple as that. So, it hasn't been even a day since Mortal Kombat 11 came out, and it is already being bombarded on Twitter because of the obvious and blatant political stances in the game. Just go into Twitter and type Mortal Kombat politics on search, and you will see an immense amount of tweets talking about the subject. But before I begin this video, let me tell you that Warner Brothers, the publisher for Mortal Kombat 11, is pretty much abusing the claiming system on YouTube, and claiming all of the Mortal Kombat 11 videos that talk bad about the press of the game. First of all, that's illegal, and second, that shows how sensitive people can get when their political stances get criticized on their video game. So please leave a like on this video, because I'm putting myself against the wall. Thank you. So, Mortal Kombat 11 was the last game I ever thought that was going to have this type of problem actually. I can understand it if it comes from a game like Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5. Both of those games revolve around real world events, and political standpoints can really be a center point on those kinds of video games. We live in an era where if a woke developer or publisher has the chance to insert their political views in video games, they will do it, no doubt. And it doesn't matter how much we, the consumers, try to fight this blatantly wrong writing decision from the devs or the publishers, they have the power to do whatever they want because it's their game. I think that it is really scummy that people try to push an agenda on video games that are played by kids. Politics are something that should never be part of video games. But in this day and age, it's impossible for any video game actually to not go woke. And it has happened to the favorite franchises of all time: Battlefield, Gears of War, and now Mortal Kombat. Please just leave Halo and Doom alone. Please, I beg you. But I have faith that the devs from both id Software and 343 are fully competent on knowing that political standpoints in video games kill your game. And that's the other one. Yes, SJWs with their political standpoints do ruin the flow and the story of most video games, but anti-SJWs are ultimately the ones that boycott a video game and send it to oblivion. Fake Outrage is ultimately the thing that kills video games. So instead of boycotting a game just because some developers decided to remove all of the classic costumes from all of the waifus from Mortal Kombat 11 just because hashtag that's too mature for my eyes, instead of doing that, laugh at those developers for their incompetency of trying to desexualize the female characters even though they're not human in the first place, that they have been like that for over 25 years, and that their character fits very well with the costume they are using in the game. So who are you going to be? The anti-SJW that boycotts games for silly reasons, ultimately letting the social justice warrior to win, or the anti-SJW that doesn't agree with the silly political standpoints from any game, but ultimately enjoys the game at its fullest? Remember, if you enjoy the game, you win. As easy as that. But that doesn't mean that I, Midnight Spartan, and pretty much any other human in the world will not laugh at the incompetency of some woke gaming developers. Not any bad blood between me or those woke developers, but the things they do actually make me laugh a little, if not a lot. And just gets to show how sensitive and without logic reason these people go into their day-to-day making woke video games. First of all, NetherRealm removed the OK sign because it was deemed that it was used by the Spartan Nazis. Does this affect the game at all? It doesn't. The game is a straight A- at this point. It's really but really good. And changing the OK sign to a middle finger sign actually is more adhered to the character of Johnny Cage. So it was a good change, but I find it really hilarious that the reason why the gesture was removed was because of Spartan Nazis. Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. The ending for Jax is literally the wokest ending in video games. It even has the word woke in the dialogue. Is it a bad thing? Is it something that will affect the game in a bad way? Of course not. The ending fits well with the character of Jax, African-American male that probably part of his family suffered before the 1960s because of #slavery. And this one had me losing my mind too, not because of the ending but because what I saw on Twitter. I saw on Twitter that the ending for Jax had an ultra heavy message against white people for doing what they did back in the 60s, and that every white male in the present should suffer for their crimes and sins, even though they had nothing to do with what happened in the past. Then I saw the ending, and the only thing I saw was the king of Wakanda enjoying his time with his family. Yet another example of fake outrage culture that look into things way too much. Another one which I do have a problem is that none of the female characters have their original costumes as an option. And it's not that I have a problem because I'm a perv or something. My problem is that why change the attire of a character just because of feminism and #we should treat virtual female characters with respect. First of all, we can see the blood and guts of every female character in this game, including male characters too. Of course, it's Mortal Kombat, so respect and decency are out of the question. It's not that I want the characters to look indecent, but the original costumes for the female characters were badass as hell. And tainting that sacred thing for Mortal Kombat fans is a great no-no. And I am not even a super hardcore Mortal Kombat fan in the first place. They even made the boobs for Sonya Blade smaller. Are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Why? That doesn't make any sense. In the end, keep politics out of video games. It is the only thing that is hindering your game's sales performance. I just do not understand why it is that hard to do. So while I was editing this video, Twitter began blowing up with tweets from consumers, aka the players from Mortal Kombat, being super angry on the political stances that Mortal Kombat 11 took. And out of all of the fire that was within the timeline, I was able to rescue these two gems of tweets. I do not want SJW awareness in my games about fighting monsters from Outworld. I do not want my woman covered up. I do not want blatant references to modern politics. I do not want to see Scorpion or anyone else in the Mortal Kombat universe making modern references like dabbing or something. And this tweet embodies exactly why this is so weird coming from Mortal Kombat. It just doesn't make any sense that this type of wokeness comes from a game where you fight to death with monsters coming from other dimensions. But I guess that nowadays you can inject politics in every type of game. Just wait when games like Dark Souls get woke. Like, when that happens, the gaming industry will be 100% corrupted by the evil. SJWs. Outrage to hear a Trump reference. Anti-SJWs. Outrage that politics are injected. How about everyone stop being easily offended, sensitive CCs? It's a throwaway taunt that's actually kinda funny coming from Shao Kahn. But well, I have to be brutally honest, I haven't bought the game and I haven't even played the game because even though I'm a pretty big fan of the franchise, of the Mortal Kombat franchise, I suck really bad at fighting games. Like, they are not my forte. My forte are FPS shooters, but fighting games I suck completely. Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Street Fighter, Tekken. The only good fighting game in which I'm good, or in quotes good, is Smash Brothers, but because I've played Smash Brothers since the very first game back in the day, like in the Nintendo 64. But yes, I do not own the game and I haven't played the game, but even though I'm a YouTuber, I'm also a consumer of the website, and I have seen a lot of reviews of the game. I'm watching a playthrough with Red Breath, yes, that guy, and overall with what I've seen about the game is really good. The graphics are on point, the performance is on point, the combos, the techniques, the characters, the fatalities, the brutalities, the real-time animations that like kinda are like the X-ray blows from Mortal Kombat X. Yes, like, the game is good. But even though the game is really good and is a straight A-, the game is still being review bombed because of the political stances that NetherRealms decided to take. But yet again, if you enjoy the game, you win, so this is just Fake Outrage, even though it's really bad that developers and gaming publishers want to push an agenda on video games. If you enjoy the game, you win, as easy as that. But it's really a very complex topic because I hate politics in video games, but I want to play those games. But if I play those games, in quotes, supporting politics being on video games, but I want to play, but I cannot play because if I play, I support politics being on video games, so it's a very complex topic. Overall, just keep politics out of video games. And so, okay, Spartans, please leave a comment down below what you think about this video. Leave a like if you did, and leave a dislike if you didn't. As always, I really do appreciate your support. Please leave a comment down below on what do you think about this topic. I really want to know your opinion. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch, and the Discord server, and yes. And so, okay, Spartans, that is all for today. If you guys liked the video, slap a like on it. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye, take care, and I love you very, very much. Thank you for watching, Spartans. I really do appreciate it. Bye bye.